The media selects the topics to be covered. They gatekeep. They set the agenda. That agenda is all but hand-delivered to them by the same elites within Washington, D.C. and the corporate public-private partnership. Great example of this is a few days before the election. The New York Times targeted conservatives and independent media that broadcast on YouTube. Why? Why were they hand-delivered the talking points by Clinton and Democratic operatives at Media Matters? The elite in government and business set the agenda. Their propagandists in the media churn it out like it's a little demonic factory. Just little demons working, printing this stuff all the time. Chomsky called this. And then it was followed like a Hollywood movie script. Tell me this isn't planned. I'm going to show you something. And this comes from my experience in media. I was 13 when I got into radio. It was 1979. And so I remember what it was like before Reagan came in. And this is both a tale of what can happen with deregulation in a good way and what can happen if we go too far. In the 1980s, when Chomsky wrote this book, 90% of American media was owned by over 50 companies. 90%. You couldn't own, I think it was 3 stations or 7 stations in one town. Couldn't. I think it was 3. I could be wrong. Companies, I don't think, could be bigger than 7. Well, it's been 40 years. Now, how many people own these companies? Own all of the media. 50% or 50 companies own 90% of the media. What is it now? Today, it is owned by 6. This is the media industrial complex, the propaganda industrial complex. Let me show these on a chart because it's amazing. National Amusements and the Redstone family control CBS, CMT, MTV, Nickelodeon, gaming, internet, Simon & Schuster, and so much more. Look at that. Disney and the far-left whack job Bob Iger controls ABC, ESPN, the History Channel, Marvel, Star Wars, video games, print, you name it, they own all of that. Time Warner controls CNN, Warner Brothers, HBO, Turner, video games, internet, print media like Time. Comcast controls NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, Telemundo, the internet, and everything else. Universal Pictures. News Corp and the Murdoch family control Fox, National Geographic, and a ton of others. And Sony, a ton there. A lot of it is music, ton of TV, movies, and so much more. Now, these are just a few examples of what these conglomerate owns. Remember, almost everything you use and consume and eat owned by, 12 companies? And 6 own what you're talking about every day. Who's controlling the information? The big 6, taken all together, are valued at nearly $500 billion. You want to know why they fought the little guys so much? And lost, by the way, this last Tuesday? They had $500 billion invested in all this crap that now isn't working. So this is what happened. Progressives identified a vulnerability back during the Reagan era. They saw that the eyes and the ears could easily be manipulated through the control of giant corporations and the mass media. So they spent nearly half a century consolidating mass media companies from 50 to 6. The result of their work is devastating. Let me just show you this. Here's our eyes and our ears, what we hear and what we see, and we're now being told, don't pay attention to any of that. But the left brain and the right brain, okay? We're told that the left brain, the blue part of the brain, is all about reason and science, right? That's not the left brain. That's actually the right brain. it's actually the left brain is math and reason. They flipped everything. Right is about feelings and emotion and creative. But that's not what the Reds are. We're more about reason, math. We make our case. They make the case based on feelings. So everything has been jumbled up and mutated into something you don't even recognize anymore. Technology now has made information accessible to more people in the world like never before. I saw something last night I wrote to Stu, and I saw this video of Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk. And they were talking about this new giveaway that he's gonna give away $20 billion over the next 30 days. But you have to act right now. And he said, go to Elon 30 or whatever it was. I went there because I watched the video. I went there and I looked at it and it was like, send us half a Bitcoin and we're going to send you that half back plus another half. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's way too good to be true. How? And I went back to the video and I looked at it and I'm like, that's them. I sent it to Stu. Stu said, watch their mouth really carefully. It was AI. It was a deep fake. Truth is going to get harder and harder to find. And the truth has never been more restricted. The cancer that is coming in to the brain from the eyes and the ears, they need massive correction. They need to be cut, replaced. Don't destroy what they're for. Make sure that they work properly, but get the cancer out. In many ways, this process has already begun. Look at the people that joined Donald Trump during this election. Elon Musk, for one, he voted for Obama not once, but twice. Joe Rogan was a Bernie Sanders supporter. RFK Jr. is a Kennedy. Tulsi Gabbard ran the DNC and ran for president for the Democrats. What happened? Donald Trump doesn't win, I think, without all of them coming out to end censorship, to end this madness. Does he win if Elon Musk didn't buy Twitter? I don't think so. Elon Musk opening up Twitter allowed voices to be heard in social media on a mass scale. It's why they went after him so hard. Because once you can see and hear the other side of the argument, and if your brain isn't so twisted up by our education system, and you use some reason and common sense, you're like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Now, that doesn't mean we agree on everything. It just means they know they've been being played. Now, the way we cut out this cancer is by more competition, more options, ending the partnership between the government and their surrogates, their corporate board members that are all sitting at the tables of the big six. Increase the amount of independent media. No government bailouts, no government startups. Let the system work. Halt the cronyism between the government and the media companies. Stop the people who work here and here from then going up here and saying, here's what we do with all this information. Cut all of the funding from three-letter agencies to private entities that censor the American public. That's how we fix it. And the great thing is, that's Donald Trump's plan.